Seriously, how the hell are you supposed to fight Iron Man? He's a walking fighter jet decked out in the best high-tech weaponry on Earth. And even if you do manage to get past the crunchy outer shell, you still got the genius mind of Tony Stark to deal with on the inside. So imagine how badass you'd have to be to pose a threat to the Armoured Avenger. That, my friend, is what we're here to see. Iron Man villains. A few of Shellhead's rogues are kinda famous nowadays because of the movies, but as usual, I'm more interested in the lower level lunatics, the secondary supervillains, the bottom dwelling bad guys who've got the guts to stand against Iron Man. Well, you've probably saw the title on your way in. This is Underrated Iron Man Villains. Iron Man styles himself as a modern day knight in shining armour, so what better villain for us to start with than his very own Black Knight? Iron Man issues 101 and 102 gives us DREADKNIGHT. Even the name on this fella's badass. DREADKNIGHT's armed to the teeth with his medieval power armour, a high-tech lance, and the dude's got a friggin' dragon horse. Iron Man first comes under threat of the DREADKNIGHT when he's taken prisoner by Frankenstein's monster. And oh yeah, comic books. Bram Velsing, don't laugh, don't you laugh, actually doesn't start out hating Tony Stark. He actually despises another man in an iron mask, Victor Von Doom. Once a Latvian scientist, Bram began to think himself better than Dr. Doom. Can you imagine the audacity? When Victor found out about this blatant blasphemy, he gave his underling a taste of what it's like to be Doom and grafted a helmet to Velsing's head. Somehow escaping the clutches of Doom, Bram almost dies in the wilderness until he gets discovered by a band of monsters who take him to their home, Castle Frankenstein, where the heir to the Frankenstein legacy, Victoria, atones for her ancestors' sins by caring for the world's misunderstood monsters. Victoria brings Velson back from the brink of death and welcomes him into her strange family of zombies, dwarfs, and mutant horses. But the man who would be DREADKNIGHT is as ungrateful as he is cunning. Where Victoria sees patience, Velsing sees weapons. Weapons he can use to lay waste to Latveria and take his revenge upon Dr. Doom. But only Victoria knows her family's secret to creating more monsters. So, armed with Latverian armour and weaponry, he betrays Victoria and throws her in her own dungeon, seizing control of Castle Frankenstein. But DREADKNIGHT's plan to amass a monster army hits a speed bump when Iron Man crash lands nearby. Frankenstein himself carries Iron Man to the castle, planning to use him as an ally against the castle's new master. But the DREADKNIGHT is too powerful. Bram Velson defeats both Frankenstein and the low battery Iron Man with ease, demanding his new pawns take them to the dungeon so he can pillage the secrets of Tony's armour for his upcoming war against Doom. DREADKNIGHT's torture of the mother of monsters pisses off both Iron Man and Frankenstein. The rage within Frankenstein lets him smash his shackles and attack, knocking DREADKNIGHT's strike off balance enough to shatter Iron Man's chains too. The two knights clash once again, only this time the noble Iron Man is recharged and ready. A showdown in the skies leads to DREADKNIGHT being knocked off his horse. He can't take on Iron Man, so he takes shots at Victoria, not very chivalrous. Tony saves the maiden, and DREADKNIGHT is left with the monster, hanging precariously from a ledge. Frankenstein's monster gives him the boot, but who's the real monster here? Rendered comatose, Velson is once again taken under the care of Victoria Frankenstein, because it's her job to look after monsters, and what else would you call such a callous, ungrateful, vicious beast as the DREADKNIGHT, if not monster? Thus ends the tale of DREADKNIGHT. I'm biased because knights kick ass, but he rules. Goddamn dragon horse. He's got a sick design, a sick weapon, and a sick ride. Cool backstory too, where he wants revenge on Doom. And what a bastard turning on Victoria after all she'd done for him. A true villain. Also, as I said, knight versus knight. Badass. We're going from knights to samurai for our next villains, because Iron Man issues 281 and 282 give us the Masters of Silence. Cybernetic samurai, how sick is that? Tony Stark has been badly wounded, and unfortunately for him his corporate enemies find out about it. Seeing an opportunity to finally be rid of their greatest business rival, a cabal of businessmen from Hydra, Roxxon, Moroboshi International, and the Tri-National Commission decide to strike while the iron is hot. Justin Hammer has already framed Stark for heinous crimes, and this council use this deception to their advantage. They hire the Masters of Silence, Lightning, Wind, and Thunder. Technologically enhanced Ronin, who declare that the dishonourable Stark must die. While hospitalised, Tony uses a remote control armour and gets to work building a device that might buy him a bit more time on this mortal coil. But time is shorter than he expects when the Masters arrive at Stark Industries. The samurai refuse surrender when Iron Man demands they drop their weapons. They're gonna have to do this the hard way. Check out some of the tech these guys are packing, mate. Beam-proof armor, energy-charged weapons, radio-controlled shurikens. Bloody hell. The samurai are so cool they managed to defeat Iron Man. Tony's lucky he wasn't in the suit this time, but the Masters of Silence weren't here for Iron Man. Their true target is Tony Stark. Tony lives to fight another day using cheeky holograms to distract the Masters, but he's bought enough time to construct an all-new suit. The samurai want a fight, but they're gonna get a war. Now Iron Man means business. He faces the challenge of the samurai head on, and Stark's new suit's got all he needs to clean up. Honor is out the window. Stark's taken them down. I know I always moan about Iron Man bad guys all being dudes in armour, but the samurai aspect brings these above and beyond. They've got a cool theme that's complemented by the armour instead of it just being some randomer in a power suit. As we see, when Rhodey reveals to the trio that Stark was framed, they immediately stop battling Iron Man and, in fact, team up with him to avenge their own honour. Technically, this is where they stop being Iron Man villains, but they are still assassins for hire, and that's a pretty nefarious job. It's easy enough for them to once again be set against the Armoured Avenger if the writer wanted it. Cyborg assassins is just a cool idea in general. I know it's been done before, like with Lady Deathstrike or the Reavers, but the fact these guys follow a code of honour makes them more anti-villain instead of straight up, normal villain. I think Iron Man works best as like a James Bond type going on these globe-trotting adventures, so any Japan story could easily use these guys again. The final foe for our fairest friend is as cold as they come. Originally from Tales of Suspense 45 and originally known as Jack Frost, go get your jacket on, cause here comes the blizzard. Dr. Gregor Shapanka is fired from Stark Industries when Iron Man catches him trying to steal from Tony Stark's vault. Gregor believes he's on the cusp of unlocking immortality through cryonics, the study of deep freezing. But Iron Man doesn't want to hear it. Stark sacks the unhinged Shapanka, giving the lunatic a reason for revenge and motivation to go all in on his wildest dreams. Using his research, Greg creates a suit designed to make him immortal by deep freezing him, slowing his aging to a standstill, and it also lets him project blasts of dangerously low temperatures. Jack Frost attacks Stark Industries, but he's given a warm welcome by Iron Man. I would hesitate to even call this a fight. The chest repulsor heats Frost to melting point and Gregor is arrested. This dude was lame as hell, but don't worry, I haven't forgot the title of the video. I'm not purposefully wasting your time because this was important backstory for Blizzard. And now that that's out the way, we can see the cool stuff. Look at his new costume. That's awesome. Stark Industries is suddenly attacked at a pace not at all glacial when Blizzard storms in. With a sick new suit and upgraded cold weaponry so powerful he can freeze bullets in the air, he makes a few copsicles and begins his heist. Look at how badass the narration boxes make him sound. Blizzard exits, enveloped in his own personal cold front, and the gates of Stark International twist and snap under a barrage of 0-degree sleet. It's basically a poem about how cool this guy is. The cold is so bitter that it even penetrates Iron Man's armour. He carefully makes his way into the frozen factory, and this bit is quite haunting. Tony has to walk through his halls, seeing all his staff frozen solid, and all he can do for them is pray that they'll thaw out alright. Blizzard's bitter blasts make Stark's anti-particle safe crack like ice, and is Blizzard implying he can break vibranium here? Theoretically, could Blizzard beat Black Panther? What about Wolverine? Could he go so cold he can crack adamantium? With the safe cracked, Blizzard claims his prize, the Climatron. A weather machine that he himself invented during his time at Stark, that will put the world at Blizzard's mercy, unless Iron Man breaks the ice. But look at this, mate. Blizzard is a force to be reckoned with. He can shoot ice spikes so sharp, Iron Man himself likens them to adamantium, and he would know he's good with metals. Even though Iron Man doesn't recognise Jack Frost, he has the same idea from the last time and tries to heat Blizzard up. But the Blizzard is cool under pressure. He knows what Iron Man's gonna do, and he doesn't care. I'm gonna say it, so get ready to cringe. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Blizzard blasts Iron Man with a full force frost so cold, it freezes Tony's heart. As Iron Man feels the icy grip of death, Pepper arrives at the battleground, and just in time, because with Iron Man dead, Blizzard needs someone to gloat to. He reveals himself as Gregor Shapanka, and delights in telling her all about what he's been up to since Jack Frost went to the icebox. Blizzard is such a cheeky bastard, he actually created and upgraded his suit while in prison. Mate, Marvel prison guards need to start paying attention while they're on the job. This is the second villain I've covered who build their gear while already in the big house. My man the Shocker did the same thing. Now 1,000,000 times more powerful than his first costumed persona, Blizzard busted free. And now, having taken revenge on the man who put him behind bars, Blizzard escapes with the Climatron weather device. I love this part here. See to it that Blizzard is mentioned in the eulogy. He's got some great lines. But Blizzard's blood would run cold if he knew that Iron Man yet still lives. Barely clinging to life, Tony's thawed out by the warmth of the generators thanks to Pepper's quick thinking. It'll be a cold day in hell when Iron Man goes down so easily, and he's cobbled a secret weapon out of the Stark generators that'll melt away any chance of Blizzard's victory. Gregor proves he is indeed cold-hearted when he blasts a few civilians to get Iron Man off his back. But before he saves the lads, Iron Man makes a Hail Mary throw and smashes the Climatron to bits. With Blizzard's scheme foiled, all that's left is the punching. Blizzard's ultimate move is grabbing hold of the Armoured Avenger and letting his personal cold field deep freeze the Man of Iron. But Tony doesn't fall for the same trick twice. After being revived by Pepper, he's built himself a personal heater out of the Stark generator, one that'll keep his armour just warm enough to do this. Blizzard melts as Iron Man drops him off with the police, but what a threat he turned out to be. Jack Frost sucked, but Blizzard was dangerous as hell. Iron Man's overpowered and he just barely managed to defeat him. What could Daredevil or Spider-Man do to stop Blizzard? Oh, hang on, apparently Marvel Team Up 56 tells us exactly what Daredevil and Spider-Man would do to stop Blizzard. Ah well, still, what a badass. Every single Iron Man villain I've took a good look at recently has exceeded my expectations. But I think it's because I'm sticking to classic stories. In modern Iron Man, he's like a technological god that just outclasses all of his bad guys immediately. Like you'd just build like a blizzard buster or hack the living laser. But dude, classic Iron Man rogues rule. Who else do I need to check out? The Unicorn, the Ghost, Titanium Man. Let me know.